What's up, everybody? Here is a big tennis hug from Shanghai. We are doing another live stream here. Tennis talk, as always, Q&A. And to start with, please let me know where you're at and what is bothering you or what is causing some problems when you play. What would you like to ask? Or if you have any topics you want to suggest, we can discuss here. I will try to make this long for maybe like 15-20 minutes, so you have a little bit time, and you're very welcome to join live. If you send a request, I will be happy to accept the request, and then you can join the screen here on Instagram. Again, you're more than welcome to ask any questions. You can go as specific as you want, something that's been bothering you recently or for a long time, and finally we can solve it here. Yeah. Meanwhile, I would just like to share with you that I felt huge relief last Friday. I completed this challenge that I've been kind of thinking about for definitely for a year, and I've been preparing for it for a few months, at least mentally, and then for the last month, 4 weeks physically as well. And I completed the challenge. 2,000 floors ran within a day, to be exact, 15 hours and 28 minutes. It was something I will never ever forget. Absolutely the most insane thing I've ever done. So I started at 7 a.m. and finished at 10:30 p.m. basically. No breaks, no proper meals. I only had some snacks and energy gels and a lot of drinks, electrolytes, bananas, and all this stuff, but no proper meals, and just kept going the whole day. Anyways, the point there was to kind of celebrate the streak of 2,000 days in a row of working out, and also to kind of discover how far we can go. And honestly, I was afraid. I was so nervous. I think it was very risky in terms of possible injuries, and there's so many things that could have gone wrong. And during the challenge, I had some doubts. I had some dark thoughts, and I was just hoping nothing bad will happen because it was actually so humid that day. 30 plus degrees, 80 plus humidity, and in that staircase there's no AC, and literally you're fighting for air the whole time, the whole day. And yeah, just to finish this kind of story, and it was the biggest challenge was to, yeah, mentally stay there and believe that it's possible, even though once I reached the halfway point, like 1,000 floors, anything after that was unknown territory. The most floors I've done before was 1,000, and then after that, I didn't know what's going to happen. Yeah, and also I didn't do it in preparation in that amount. I didn't know how my leg is going to hold, how my lungs, my heart, my head, everything was like blowing. Like the head was so hot. Yeah, it was scary. And yeah, I've done it in sets of 10 floors for the just a bit more than the first half, basically 10 floors running, and then short break, and then again 10 floors and break. And then for the last 800 floors, I did it in 5 floors. So I would run 5 floors, short break, 5 more, and then so on until it was over. Anyways, I still have a lot of photos and videos from the challenge. We had two camera people, and I just didn't have a chance to get to it. It was so exhausting that I took like the next few days to recover, and I'm still not fully recovered. But anyways, thank you for this time. Thank you for listening. I would just now go and read some of the comments and the questions. I've seen some on Instagram. On YouTube, we don't have much going on as expected. Samuel, glad to see you. My tennis serve is going long. How can I correct it? Going long mostly means we are not giving enough rotation, possibly opening the wrist, right? So it's becoming flat, and also in this way, it's easy to kind of hit upwards or long. So make sure you have coming towards the ball, regardless of which rotation you want to hit, regardless of slice, you still need to go all the way up, and then you're gonna kind of prone it right at the end. Or the kick serve, right, is gonna be more behind. You still need to go edge, and then you're gonna pronate upwards more. Make sure the ball rotates more as you hit. You'll be able to hit more serves in the court. I'm also unable to impact the shoulder over shoulder technique. By that he means boom, right here. So I would say as you turn, you toss, right? Just get that tilt, stretch up, and then push this front hip forward, and then make sure this elbow is kind of not too low, too close to body, but it's following the shoulder line, and then you can create that correct mechanics. Manpower guy, I love to learn from your tennis experience and share mine too. That sounds good. Oh, follow my IG. Okay. That sometimes we are like asking, and then, where is the background behind this ask? So we want to kind of think about that. You're welcome to send me a message. Let's see if we can do something. That's amazing. What was the temperature? Yeah, I think I mentioned it's like it's above 30. The average was 30, 31 throughout the day. So yeah. Whom are we rooting for at Cincinnati? Honestly, I don't have any like preferences there. I would like to see maybe some upcoming guys doing some damage more. Is it now already in the finals? I think I saw. Is it Shelton Kachanov? Am I right? Or no? This is the tournament before. Sorry, I'm not. These few days I was totally out. My whole focus, my whole world was this challenge, and it's kind of understandable. It's ridiculous. Basically, 15 hours of running up the stairs. Just I couldn't believe it can be done, but then you discover it can. Take it one day at a time. Take small steps every day to get back in it. All right, that's some good advice. Okay, I think I covered all the questions. Thanks for that. Do we have anybody who wants to ask the live question directly? Shelton defeated Fritz. That was in the semis, right? And then I think he's in the. Well, I don't know. Is that already Cincinnati, or it's a different tournament before? I think it is actually, because I know I saw Kachanov in the finals in the 1000 tournament, first time after like 6 or 7 years. So it must be Cincinnati then. So I guess it's Shelton against Kachanov in the final. Cannot predict much there. I'm not really a fan of either of these players. I mean, I'm not like super excited to know they're playing in the finals. Yeah. Montreal. All right. Yeah, I guess I should pay more attention. Yeah. The energy right now, it's kind of low. Trying to put myself together and deliver something here. So you guys are welcome to assist a bit, help. If you have something to stir up this conversation, please, you're needed right now. Okay, we have a question on YouTube from Akten Hela. What is, according to you, the best way to warm up before a match? Great question. Thank you so much. I'm gonna immediately screenshot that. So, question about the warm up. First of all, I would like to say here, for the warm up, for everybody listening, you want to find out what fits you, what works for you. And there could be some models, something that you could incorporate, but you also want to search and you want to explore to see what really works well for you. I would say, again, it really depends on the level as well, right? I think that the higher you are in levels, the more advanced you are, you have to be more careful. You have to look at details, especially because the higher level you're playing at, you will move quicker, right? And there is a higher risk or chance of getting injured. I'm not saying that intermediate players they don't move well, but it's just the fact that if you're playing on a pro level, you're gonna have like crazy movement, sprints, left, right, change of directions. You really have to take time. So I would say the proper warm up would definitely will last a while. It cannot be 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It has to be more than 1 hour, I would say. But here we're talking about the pro level, right? So it would definitely start with some light jogging, getting the body in that motion state, and then you would do some dynamic stretching, agility, of course. Get the body parts, all the parts ready to perform at the highest level. And that doesn't include just the legs and the hips, but also definitely the core, and then upper body, a lot of the arms, the shoulders, a lot of elastic bands, all these movements. You really have to work on that. And then finally, it will be definitely something with quickness, sprints, reaction, change of direction, and stuff like that. Maybe something fun like catching and throwing, and then like not seeing the ball, reacting to really get sharp before. And then ideally, you also want to hit few balls. Nothing special, maybe 15, 20 minutes, just get on the court. The best is if you can actually play on a court where you're going to have a match, or the same courts, same balls, and then you are almost able to visualize it and kind of feel how the match will start. Go through the rallies, ground strokes, maybe focus on a certain shot that you think you're going to use in the match more, hit a few returns, few serves, of course, net play, and then you'll be ready to go. I hope that helps. Hope that answers the question. And thank you again. Appreciate it. Appreciate the question. Let's see. We had a few more on. Cincinnati is next, 1,000. So now it's Montreal. All right. Thanks for clarifying, guys. What else we have here? Grigor takes 1.5 hours to warm up. Very, very possible. And I believe that's great advice. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for a question. And you're so welcome. You're so welcome, guys. Any other questions? Every time when we do this at the end, for some of you maybe who were here before, do you guys remember what I always say? And I kind of have this favor. Whenever you are on the court training or playing matches, if you discover there is some issue, there is some problem, and you cannot figure it out, you cannot find a solution, write it down and then share it in the chat here. Share it in this live stream or send me a message. But now it's perfect because then we can share it with everybody else. If we can spread this knowledge and experience and come up together with certain solutions. So, but I don't know if you guys did the homework, if you played the match since the last time, and maybe some of the guys who were here before, they're not currently present here in the chat, but that would be great. If nobody is doing so at the moment, I would try to go down the memory lane and think about some of the issues I had personally. I don't know if that would be interesting to you guys, but I will try. But here we have another comment on YouTube. If you could share a warm-up routine with us on YouTube, that will be much appreciated. Thanks again. This is a good question. I believe there are some warm-up videos on YouTube on my channel, so you can check it out. And definitely, it's a good topic. I will consider that in the future. Okay, before I go and share my story, how should one stay locked in during a match? Another good question. And there's another one. How do I improve my net clearance? It's something I've been struggling with. All right, I guess I'm gonna just attack these questions, try to help you guys, and then maybe some later or some other time I can share some of my experiences. So let's go and answer this question. Locked in during the match. Great question. We are all humans, and therefore, this is a huge challenge to stay. What does it mean? Stay locked in. That means that all your focus and all your attention is directed straight ahead, right? Looking at the net, at the opponent, at the ball. So just kind of acknowledge that it's a really difficult challenge because we will have so many things going on in our mind. For that reason, the best possible way to get locked is trying to keep your mind present there, right? So without allowing you to go too far, even though you're going to have these moments of wandering around with your mind, and usually that will be related to the circumstances. What is the occasion, the tournament, the match, the importance, the people watching, the expectations, whatever is coming after, right? Or maybe even during the match, what happened in the previous game and stuff like that. So the first step in getting locked in is to find your ways that can help you to be present. And I'm sure most of you know this. This is the key, being present. I guess the bigger question is how you do that, how you get present in a tennis match. I think I talked about this a few times. So I guess the person who asked, they were not here. Like few tips, I think that they can really work well. The number one is having the routines that you can use anytime, and these routines you should have during your practice sessions, trainings, and then also in the matches. So the purpose there is to do something repeatedly that triggers your mind in such a way that brings you to this familiar state. For example, if the way you prepare between the points, maybe you always step back a bit, you turn around, you look at the back fence, you check your strings, you check your dampener, or you spin the racket in a certain way, and you do the same sequence, the same thing when you play a match. Maybe not every single point, but every now and then. And that could kind of keep there present, right? Simply focusing on what you're doing with your hands, with the racket, with the strings. This is also, picking up the towel and doing something like that, bouncing the ball. This is why the players, the top players, they have their special routines and all the sequences. It's kind of like that. Put you in this very simple task-oriented mind where you're just thinking about that. So you don't give space to your mind to really go further, to think like these bigger things. And then along those lines, I would also say, think about what is the strategy of the match. What do you want to play? What is the weakness of the player? Did you come up with certain tactics before the match? And then as you're playing, always come back to that, because that's another way to trick your mind. And you cannot force, how to say this, you will have a certain thoughts coming, you will have it, it's going to happen. You cannot just stop it or eliminate the thought, but you can squeeze in a new thought, and you can do this consciously, right? So this is something that you need to practice and you need to do more, and then that's how you're going to get better at it. For example, if you're playing a match 5-all, you're serving 30-40, break point down, it's kind of to be or not to be moment. And then you get this thoughts, oh my God, if I miss this first serve, if I lose this point, I'm down a break, I was not even close to break him or her. That's not good. So you catch yourself thinking about that, boom, you gotta do something about it. You cannot just continue and then serve. you have to maybe step back, do the bounce, twist the racket, and then think, what was my tactics here against this opponent? What was working? Like, you have to do this quickly, right? You don't have so much time. 10 seconds. All right. I'm going to focus on moving him with big targets, and I'm going to be super solid, wait for the chance. Whatever it is, you just think about it, and it should help you. And then, of course, always, this is in any scenario, breathing. This is something you can do in any given moment. Being up, being down, under stress, super relaxed, you can always consciously come back to breathing. Same like in meditations. And the same thing, it's the same focus. Instead of allowing the mind to wander, put you in that like what if, you just bring it to your body and the breathing. And then it's like, instead of what if and then, oh, hold on, let's just first deal with this breath. Let's just first deal with this oxygen inhale. Okay, let's count this 4 seconds. 1 2 3 4. 1 2, and then you literally inside yourself, like not out loud, you can do it, how to say, inside, within, but you can still count. And in that moment, the magic happens. You literally distracted your mind, and then you come back there. And finally, I will give this tip for footwork. If you feel very uncomfortable, right? You cannot, like, your palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. It's from like the song from Eminem. Like, if you get this thing, like you're getting frozen and you are really nervous and like you're like just want to escape, you want to jump out of your skin, that's also very good tip what you can do in this moment. Just tell yourself, force yourself, push yourself to move as best as you can. You can always do that. No matter how tight you are, nervous, you can always push yourself, make more steps. Run, not just run, make more steps. The ball comes to you, very simple ball, you make 3, 4, 5 extra steps. And then on top of that, I give you another, it's like a cherry on the cake. Make the sound as you hit. I think this can be a game changer. Game changer, like grunt, right? And then something like that in your own way. Maybe, possibly try not to distract the opponent, at least not consciously. The goal there is to, first of all, release that tension as you hit. But at least for me, the way it works, I really get into it. It puts me in some kind of fun state, and also it's just the pressure disappears. And also, if I feel very heavy and low energy, that's what I do in some sessions when I'm like completely done. I start grunting, like even when I play with some juniors and kids for fun, and then I get into it. I imagine it's the grind, it's the match, and that helps. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. I think I shared like 4 or 5 tips how to be present in matches. So, whoo! All right. What else? Do we have some other questions since then? Okay. We had a net clearance question. Net clearance, obviously, you need to work on your racket path. Just think about this. This is very logical. If you want your result, let's say this is the ball trajectory, right? So yours is maybe like this. If you want your ball trajectory to be like this, whatever you do with the racket, with your preparation, has to match that trajectory, okay? This is the trajectory. So this is the first part of trajectory. Just logics, okay? Common sense. This is the trajectory of the ball. So your racket, obviously, you have to go low, you have to go down, and then you have to lift. Low to high, low to high on any given ball. Even if the ball comes to you, it's higher. Let's say it's here. You gotta go elevate the swing, and you still have to go below, and then bam, you gotta create. So like this trajectory, I think you can reverse the way you think. Whatever is your desired outcome, you want to match this with your preparation and with your swings. I think that's a bit easier to understand. Simple task mind, I will remember that. Okay. And then good breathing for relaxing that moment. Yes, that's good. How is the one-handed backhand going? One-handed backhand going, it's great. It's so natural. Can you see? Eh. I always wished I started one-hander, and it's just more natural, more intuitive. Okay? And we have another question. How do you get your mind ready before a match? What do you say to yourself to adopt a good attitude in order to compete well? Another question. We covered this so many times. You are great at explaining swing concept. Yeah. Okay, we have also requests for the live. Let me just. This is a cool question. What do you say to yourself to adopt? Okay, adapt. Yeah, adopt. A good attitude. I always confuse these two words. I have to think a little bit. Adopt versus adapt, right? Yeah. So you're adapting to a certain like situation, right? And you're adopt like a dog or something, or adopt an attitude. What do you say to yourself? Number one thing, let's have fun. Let's enjoy this match or training or whatever tournament competition. Let's have a blast. Number one, nothing tops this. Why are you playing? Why? I mean, what else? Right? It's just let's have a blast. And then along those lines, number two would be it doesn't matter. Whatever. It doesn't matter what happens. It's just a tennis match. Everything goes after, regardless of the outcome. You're gonna go after, have lunch or have dinner, meet friends, continue the next day. You have another match, whatever. I think these two combined, you don't need. You're set. If you can really like install this in your mind, you're good. Let's have a blast. Let's have fun. Doesn't matter. Whatever happens, it doesn't matter. And if you really want to push and you want like the third tip here, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's try. Let's experiment. Let's play the way you want to play. Do your favorite game. Try to show your strength and yeah, show what you're made of. Deliver your strengths while having fun, right? And then again, it doesn't really matter. And of course, all this, it's easier said than done, but this is honestly what I would do. I would try these things. So yeah, currently in Shanghai, Neil. Your serve videos have been awesome in helping me with my serve. Thanks for all the videos. You're so welcome, Andrew. Very welcome. All right, let's try. How do you know when to change strategy? Oof. How do I not tighten up in games, especially towards end of matches? Oh, another good question. Let me just see if we can have somebody to join because I can keep answering. Sweaty hands while playing. Powder. You can use the powder. If you mean physically sweaty, like if you're nervous, then all these tips. Powder, there is a special powder for playing and also towel. I would like to accept this request from Birgit. Okay, accept. Let's see if she will join. And how do you know when to change strategy? If the score, the score line, it doesn't go in your favor, that's when you obviously want to make some change. And yeah. Okay, so we have somebody joined us. Hello. Oh, they left. Okay. I'm not sure about the brand powder. Possibly Torna. The Torna grips, which are those purple ones. These grips, Torna. That. All right, but here I'm very interested in this question. All right. So let's go back to the change of strategy. Changing the strategy. Obviously, if the score is going your way, if you're leading in the match, you just keep going. If it's not going your way, that's the moment, I guess, right? Or if it's like super, maybe even if it's very tight, and you're trying your strategy and you just feel like it's not working, right? Then you kind of know something has to change. I'll give you one story. I can think of 10, but let's say the first thing that came to my mind, I was playing this local tournament in Serbia, under 16 or under 18, we're still juniors, against one of the rivals. And yeah, it's kind of rival, but I've never lost to him. But he's at a very like close level, we're very similar, super high level as well. And we're playing on clay, and his style is kind of heavy top spins and kind of staying a little bit behind the baseline. And I also played this kind of style when I was junior. Sometimes I would mix it up a bit more than him, and it was just going very slow. And I was not kind of having any edge. We were exactly same. Long points, top spin, and just it literally all depending on one or two shots who's going to win a game or even a set. And I just figure out I have to change something. Just it has part of it, but it's not my full style. I'm much more diverse player, and that's when I kind of push myself to step closer to the baseline and take more balls on the rise. Literally, I was stepping in the court, and you would think it's more risky, but I still played quite consistently. My shots were quite stable and completely changed the flow of the match. And I was just on top of him, and I closed the match in 2 sets, and that happened mid-match. So that's one example. How do you not get tightened up, especially towards the end? Try all these tips that we talked about. I guess you were not here when we mentioned how to stay present in matches. We talked about, I forgot now the sequence. I think there were 4 or 5 things. Definitely, what was the first thing? I cannot think like clearly. It's just in a spot, right? Definitely, you have the breathing. Breathing can help you like stay composed and also loosen up between every point and during the changeovers. Conscious breathing. Count the seconds inhaling and exhaling, right? That's gonna help so much. Have the routines. I think this was the first thing that I mentioned. Have your little routines between the points. Fix the strings on the racket, spin the racket, bounce the ball, get the towel. Think about the tactics that you have, that you planned, and then get engaged into that. Force yourself to move better, footwork, push yourself to make extra steps. And there was one more thing. Oh my God, it just slipped out of my mind. There was one more thing. Breathing in terms of as you hit, grunting. This is for me maybe the game changer, right? As I mentioned. So as you hit, or something like that, right? I think that's gonna help a lot. So you make it more fun. And I think I answered everything so far. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm gonna wrap up. I still have to edit today's video. Wow, the YouTube is waking up. How to take your lessons, Neil? You can send me the message, DM me on Instagram. Hopefully, I can see it. I feel I can time split step right. You cannot time the split step right. That's very common. You have to just understand when you should do it, and then you have to force yourself to do it. In the beginning, you have to practice it, and later on, it becomes second nature. I think you should watch the pros, watch the videos, and then see exactly the points when they hit. There's very clear pattern. They're all doing it in the same, pretty much in the same time, and with a bit different forms. Some of them, they do a bit higher split step. So in that way, they do it a bit earlier. Those who do it like a little bit like quicker, they do it just in the last moment. But the point is that you are in the air as the opponent hits the ball. you should be already in the air as the opponent hits the ball. So that means you got to do it before they hit. Slow high balls are extremely difficult for me. I now only take them when it comes down, but this is not always ideal. I have semi-western grip. Do you have some tips for this problem? I guess you already kind of know this is coming from thin bricks. You want to try to take them on the rise if you have enough time and position to be there. So you got to be closer to the bounce. And then you want to use that force. You know, when the ball comes off the ground, there is a bit different energy there. And you also come off the ground, boom. And then you can, with your semi-western, boom, right? You can then kind of hit it even with a bit less spin and you take away from the opponent, take time away from the opponent. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. Now you're like firing with questions. Always when I'm about to leave. About the knee issues, I guess we're asking about me. It's better. I had this a little bit problem after this challenge, so the knee was swollen and felt a bit weird for the last few days. But I'm kind of resting now more these days. The next few days, less tennis sessions, so hopefully it's gonna be better. Stay present right there. Do your routines, focus on your strategy and tactics, force yourself to move, breathe, grunt. There you go. Thanks for that recap. Perfect. All right. I like to see when people are paying attention. It's all about that. It's what it's all about. Attention to details, focus, and then always being curious to keep improving, to keep changing, discovering your potential, how far you can go. We can all keep improving so much. I believe there's no ending, there's no limit. That's the beauty here, and that's why we're all together in this. I'm very happy if I can be part of that journey, help you improve, and yeah, enjoy this amazing game. Keep playing, keep having fun. That's it. And I would say finally, yeah, whenever you have this, tough thoughts, not feeling good on the court, whatever, upset, just take a step back. Just think, man, this is all so insignificant and so not important. Like, come on, I'm here on the court. I'm able to play this sport. I'm healthy enough, and I can even afford it. I'm the happiest in the world. Just always reflect back on that. Be really, really grateful that you're able to play it. I miss playing because I couldn't play for a while now because of the injuries. And anytime I'm on court and I feel light, I feel pain free, I can hit some balls, and I'm just so happy. So just change the perspective. Oh, okay. Thanks so much for all the questions. There's one more. What's your opinion on how the game has changed since the end of the Big Three and advanced player Alcaraz Sinner? Yeah, definitely faster, but a bit more boring, I have to say. It's just all baseline. I wish there have a bit more variations. Alcaraz sometimes mixes it up, but I would like to see more of that. But anyways, it's nice to see these guys. They're just dominating so much. It's really inspiring. And so are all of you with all your questions. And yeah, thanks so much again for watching. I'll see you again next Thursday around this time. Write down your questions and I'll see you then. Talk to you next time. Have a great day.